My name is Xavier Arthur, and in today's video, we're going to talk about e-batteries that are found in e-bikes, e-scooters, drones, RC toys in general, and even things like your phone. Yes, did you know that your phone carries a Li-on battery, or what's commonly known as a LiPo battery? These batteries pack a lot of energy inside of a small condensed area. And that's part of what can make these batteries so explosive. Whether it's found in here, they're found in most modern day cameras like your Insta360. They're found in things like your GoPros as well. Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that. They think it's just found in e-scooters and e-bikes because these things are starting a lot of fires everywhere, in particular areas like New York City, where people live in condensed apartments on multiple floors. And when these things break out, it can cause a lot of damage. Well, now that you know that these lithium ion, or what's called LiPo batteries, are found in almost every single device in your home, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, I'm not safe, right? Well, you are safe, but there are some extra precautions that you should take as long as you own one of these phones, or as long as you own one of these cameras, or better yet, as long as you own one of these drones. These drone batteries do carry LiPo batteries or lithium ion batteries too, and these can explode and start fires just like the e-bikes and the e-scooters. Now granted, they're not as big and not as powerful, but yes, they are equally or almost as dangerous as those. So if you already own one of these devices, and it's not limited to just these devices either, if you own one of these RC stuff as well, these things work with the lithium ion batteries as well. You see? So they go in here and these get a lot of beating, they get a lot of bashing, they get tossed around, they do jumps, they get beaten up, as you can see. So these batteries in particular take a hit. Let's take it a step even further. What if you own and you build these drones, these FPV drones? Well, this is probably as dangerous as it gets. These are lithium ion or Li-on batteries too, and these most likely do not have any kind of protection or rating, which we will talk about. So if you have any one of these things in your home, which everybody probably does in today, 2023, then yeah, the first thing you should think about getting is a fire extinguisher. Right here, I've got one, two, three, four, five, about 6 of these positioned in almost every single room in my home. Now, should you go out and get one for every single room in your home? Yes. And no, you don't really need it, but I prefer to be paranoid, especially since I have a lot of these equipment around me. So I prefer to be safe than sorry. These lithium ion batteries have their own oxygen supply built in, and they, when they explode and they catch fire, they are very difficult to put out, and a normal fire extinguisher just won't do it. So make sure it's rated for B. Mine is rated for A, B, and C. So always check the gauge periodically. I check them every month or two to make sure that the gauge does not go below green, just because you never know. You just never know, right? Everybody makes mistakes. Everything is being made by humans, and all it takes is one human to make one mistake when they're building these batteries, even if it's the best of the best battery, and more so if it's the worst of the worst battery. And before you know it, voop. So always keep one or two or a few of these things around just in case. The other thing you want to have is some type of welding or heat resistant gloves, preferably the ones that go right up to your elbow if you really want to be extra safe, because just in case one of these things ever light up or go up in flames, you want to push your hands in here, pick it up and toss it out the window or something. Toss it far so it doesn't really catch on anything else in your house and catch fire. So apart from spraying it, you'll want to kind of dispose of it as soon as it starts, the fire starts to tame. Throw it out the window or throw it out the door. Get it out your home as fast as possible. just the smoke alone is toxic, and you don't want that going off in your home. So will I ever have to use these two things? Am I trying to scare you? No. But if you've got kids around, if this is your home, you're living in a space where other people are in apartments around you, you just want to take the extra precaution. Not that you will ever have to use these. A lot of these batteries are tested and certified, and that's the point I'm coming to next. Now, if you already own one of these drones or e-bikes, take a look at the battery or take a look at the website where you purchase this electronics item from and look at the battery. This one has a CE rating, which is a European rating, which is a quality standards. There are companies like UL, if you've never heard of them. That stands for Underwriters Laboratories. CSA, Canadian Standard Association. CE, this is a European standards. These companies take these builds or these batteries along with the devices and they put them through rigorous tests. These companies then put their certification labels on them so you know you're getting something that is quality, that is tested over time, not only by the manufacturer but by a third party company that's reputable and known. I'm an electrician. I deal with electricity. I buy electrical components and install them in people's homes and buildings. When I go to the electrical supply and I buy stuff, or I go to Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever and I buy stuff, I always double check it to make sure that it's UL listed or it has some form of quality listing standards on it. That's important. You go to Amazon these days, check on Amazon. You can buy anything from e-scooters to electrical components, switches and stuff like that. And a lot of these new devices that are coming from China, they're just not certified. Like they have no UL or CSA or any quality standard rating on them at all. And you can buy it on Amazon. You get it in a day or two. You install it in your home if it's a switch. And next thing you know, your whole house is on fire. And you're wondering what the heck is going on. So these companies have a purpose. They have a place, these testing agencies. So make sure that your battery has some type of label. If your battery doesn't have it, go to the website where you purchase your scooter from. Is this quality tested? Does it have any UL rating? Does it have any CSA standards? Like, what standards do you guys go through apart from the manufacturer standards? Look into all of that before you purchase. Yes, we're all trying to save money. Yes, the whole idea of going with electric scooters and electric bikes is that you save money, but will you save money in the long run if your home burns down or your apartment burns down, endangers other people that may be living around you, that have kids, that have families, that have personal property, that may have all types of things stored in their home, and it's all gone just because of one decision you make to save a couple $100. It's really that simple, right? So do your homework. Buy a battery that is removable. Don't buy an e-bike or any type of component where you cannot remove the battery, because it's always good if something happens to this, you don't have to dispose of the whole bike. You could just open the window, throw this out the window. Worst case scenario, open your garage, throw it out in the driveway or something and let it out itself or let it burn out itself, worst case scenario. But you don't have to worry about lifting the whole bike or lifting the whole scooter and tossing it out the window or taking it down the step or putting it out the door, down the outside in the driveway. You don't have to worry about none of that stuff. You could just grab the battery and dispose of it, because it's not the rest of the bike that you have to worry about. Yes, you want a bike that's quality build or a scooter that's built in quality to last you a long time, but that doesn't pose a fire threat, right? Doesn't pose a fire hazard. This is the part that does. So you want to generally go for a battery that's removable. And if not, because a lot of these e-bikes that do not have removable batteries, the biggest pitch behind them is that they're very light and easy to carry. Buy from a reputable brand. Now, I'm not here to promote brands or anything like that. My goal of this video, like I explained to you, is for overall safety. The safer we are, the less fires that are out there, then automatically the less regulation that will be placed upon us. So let's just do the right thing, and we'll talk more about that. But yeah, look at the website, whichever website you're going to look at or bike you're interested in. Scroll all the way at the bottom. Read things like about us, contact us, return and refund, shipping policy, warranty. terms of service, yes, read those things, because that will give you a good gauge of the company, how they operate, what how they're willing to back their products. Do your own research, and of course jump on YouTube. I make a ton of YouTube videos covering these drones and these e-bikes, so that way will help you to guide you as to which brand to look into. So yeah, and lots of other YouTubers have content too on these bikes that are tested. So do your diligence. This drone is made by Autel. Autel is a reputable brand, and that's why you'll find the CSA label on both their drone and on their battery. And then there are other brands out there that you want to look into, like DJI, like Skydio, that are reputable brands. So just choosing the right brand eliminates half of the problems right there. So for example, if you go to Amazon and you just type in electrical scooter, you will find a ton of scooters starting at $300 and up. And if you continue scrolling here on Amazon, you'll find scooters that really pack a punch. Like, it's full of specs, speed, range, everything. It's got everything like the expensive scooters that you would pay $1,700-$1,800 for. You can find them on Amazon for $700 and $800. Well, hello. How come Amazon is able to deliver it for $700-$800 and the other brands that are reputable and known are selling them for $1,700-$1,800? It makes you just want to go out and buy it. It looks like a real deal, right? Well, be careful, because you get what you pay for. I'm not saying that those brands are not worth purchasing. It's just that you increase the risk because you're buying products that have less standards, less quality control, less strength and durability overall, and you'll get what you pay for. When you take that $600-$700 scooter that has specs of a $2,000 scooter and you put it in your home, just make sure that you have the things that we spoke about earlier, because the probability of yours going up in flame, yes, is much higher than the actual big name brands that use the Samsung and the LG batteries, and that are UL or CSA or some other standard that's known, recognized, and tested. Yes, because all of those things cost money. It costs money to take your product, to take it to one of these agencies, to get it tested, to get it certified. And when you skip that process, well, you save a lot of money. So I'm not saying that other manufacturers that do not go through this process, that their products are bad or substandard. I'm just saying I don't know, and that's a risk that you take. Another major reason why these e-scooters and e-bikes and even RC toys are blowing up is because of the chargers. These e-bikes and e-scooters come with batteries, and usually when you buy one of these bikes, it comes with a charger. When this charger goes out or damages for any reason, or you want to charge at a faster, higher, more rapid rate, then you'll have to upgrade your charger. And that's where things get tricky. That's where things can get very dangerous. Because by using your own charger, where you can manipulate the amperage, which is the current that's going into these batteries, generally the more current that you push into these batteries when you're charging it, the faster it will charge. But also the faster it charges means the more heat will build up in it and the more risk of it catching fire. Manufacturers generally ship the right charger that is paired to work with the batteries that they provide with their e-bikes. And when you swap those chargers out and you use your own homemade charger or your own charger that is modified, and you push more amperage into these batteries, look out. It can explode. It can increase the likelihood of these things exploding. So you want to use the manufacturer charger. You have to look at the conditions or how you treat these batteries. If you're riding in the snow, if you're in New York City, and then in the summer, and then in the fall, and then in the winter, and then in the spring, these are all different seasons with all different temperatures. Do not run your battery down. Do not drain your battery right out. It will deplete the overall lifespan of the battery, and it increases the risk of damaging one or two of these cells, which can cause the battery to short circuit or to erupt. So it's how you care for your battery. In cold weather, you already know that these batteries do not last as long, so do not ride as far with it. Take that into consideration. When the battery goes below 15%, it's better to just turn it off and leave it, take it home, ride on without the pedal assist, just ride on bare muscle, Get your bike home, get your battery into a nice warm space. The general rule of thumb is wherever you're comfortable, your battery is comfortable. So if you're feeling hot, your battery's probably feeling hot. If you're feeling cold, your battery's probably feeling cold. As long as you treat this battery in terms of comfort the way you would treat yourself, you'll be fine. Do not leave the battery in a low power state. If you run your battery down, take it home, leave it for about 15-20 minutes, let it cool or let it warm up, depending if you're coming out of a hot or cold environment, and then charge it up to full. If you're not going to be using it for a while, charge it maybe between 50 or 60%, right? This is the general rule of thumb. It doesn't always apply to all these batteries, so you want to check and see what the manufacturer recommends. If you go to your e-bike and there's no manual, there's no manufacturer recommendations, there's no videos from the manufacturer talking about care and maintenance of your e-bike or e-scooter, then you probably want to, then that should say a lot, right? You probably bought a product that the manufacturer doesn't really care about. So yeah, go grab your manual, go look at a video online that the manufacturer recommends for care of their batteries. Right, so that's a good sign. Make sure you do all of that due diligence before you even buy an e-bike. And remember, if you purchase one already, well, don't forget to buy the stuff, right? And this goes even if you buy the quality stuff that's UL listed, you don't overcharge, you don't run your battery down, you don't use aftermarket chargers and all of that stuff. It's still good to have the fire extinguisher and the fireproof gloves. It's just, you just never know, right? Another thing to note is that these aftermarket chargers that people run out and buy, they do not have that type of protection that communicates with the bike or the scooter to tell it when the charge is complete. So it'll just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing a charge until it overcharges it. You may have forgotten to set a timer. You may have forgotten to check up on it, and you may have left or fall asleep or something, and before you know it, your place is on fire. But the OEM chargers, the chargers that come with the e-bikes and the scooters, they will automatically turn off when it's fully charged because it's built to work with that. And I feel like that's the primary reason that these bikes and scooters go on fire. Not just because they're low quality and they're cheap and they're using, low grade parts. Not only that, but on top of that, people are not using the original chargers. And on top of that, people are overcharging it. So it's just a matter of doing your due diligence. Pay the extra money, get the best product that you can, and make sure that you care and maintain your batteries and take good care of your stuff. These drones are probably the most dangerous, and I'm surprised people are not talking about it, because you buy your chargers separately, you buy your batteries that you want. These drones, you build everything to your desire or to your spec. So basically you're in complete control of everything. So your education level when it comes to batteries and chargers and charging in general has to be at a higher level. So once you own and maintain these, you kind of have a better understanding of how dangerous these batteries can be in general, because you have to set the charging, you have to set the balancing for the charging and everything when it comes to these. If you're getting into FPV, make sure you do your research. Now, when it comes to these type of models, I tend to go with Traxxas because they offer their own batteries, they offer their own chargers, and their own charging connectors are proprietary. So once I stay within this ecosystem, I know pretty much I don't have to worry about anything, because I've bought their batteries with their specific plugs that is proprietary to Traxxas, and I use their charger that is recommended by them and built by them and sold by them to charge these batteries. And when it comes to the RC, that's the route that you want to go with. RC trucks as well, you can buy your own batteries, you can buy your own charger, you can charge it at your own rate, yes. But just because Traxxas makes it so simple and so easy, that's the reason that I went with them. I'm not telling you don't buy the other batteries and stuff, just know what you are doing. So if I missed anything, make sure you mention it in the comments below. That can help other people, because safety is important. We've got to keep these batteries safe. We've got to keep these batteries comfortable. We've got to keep these batteries healthy. We've got to take care of them so that they can stay in our homes and in our businesses and in our spaces safely without having to worry about eruptions. And just to recap, we also have to take extra precaution to make sure that just in case, everything that's made by humans, there's always a possibility that an error can occur, right? That's just the way it is. If I missed anything of value that you think people need to know, be sure and list it in the comment section below. I will pin it so that way people can benefit from it when they decide to go out and purchase these e-bikes and e-scooters and e-products. With that being said, if you have any additional questions, just become a patron. It's $1 a month. That equals $12 a year. You can shout out to me on Patreon, talk to me there, ask me any questions there. I'll definitely do the best I can to answer them for you or point you in the right direction. I hope this video was helpful, brought you some value, put your mind at ease, help you to put things in perspective so you can go out and buy your own e-bike, e-scooter, drone, RC, or basically any piece of technology that's on the market today. With that being said, you have a wonderful and blessed day, and I will catch you guys, well, whenever I can.